Welcome to the Audio Inc. Radio podcast, featuring interviews with the biggest names in rock and metal, hosted by Erickson.
Get inked. Visit Facebook.com/Audio Inc. Radio, Twitter.com/Audio Inc. Radio, and AudioIncRadio.com for more ink. Whew, that's a lot of ink. It's AudioIncRadio.com.
Let me tell you that sometimes things are frustrating because I was all set up to do this interview with Myles Kennedy of Alter Bridge as a video interview, and my power went out just out of nowhere, and it knocked out my computer that I use for those, and it takes forever to get back on. So I had to use my backup, which is fine, and power came back up. I got Myles back on the phone, but it is an audio interview. I was going to do a video, but you can still check out the whole thing right here on the podcast and at my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Audio Inc. Radio. It's Ann Erickson, and as always, it's awesome to hang out with you. You are amazing. You rock. You know who else is amazing and who rocks? Myles Kennedy from Alter Bridge and Slash. He is one of the best voices in rock. Cannot prove me wrong on that. That is 100% right. One of the best voices in rock music. And he's so nice. He's so down to earth. As you'll hear in the interview, I've interviewed him a bunch of times and I'm never disappointed. So gonna get into it. And just a reminder, check me out online. Head to itsmeann.com. That's itsmeanne.com. itsmeann.com to link up with me on all my social media, or just direct. It's Twitter, X, and Snapchat at Ann Erickson, Instagram and TikTok at Erickson Ann, or just search Ann Erickson on Facebook. And check out my private Patreon. It's patreon.com/AnnAutumn for fun stuff. I promise. Fun stuff. So check that out. And check out my band Upon Wings and my solo music at uponwings.com. All right, let's get into it with the one and only Myles Kennedy.
Hey, what's happening? You're listening to Ann Erickson on Audio Inc. Radio. This is Myles Kennedy from Alter Bridge.
What is up? It's Ann Erickson with Audio Inc. Radio, and I'm so happy to be back here with Myles Kennedy of Alter Bridge. How are you?
I'm good. Good to be back.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's so funny. We were talking about how you were having some power issues last week, and then my power went out, so I can't use video right now. It's crazy.
I'm telling you, it's the curse of Kennedy. I have a way of bringing people's power down.
There could be worse curses. So first, I want to go back. When you first joined Alter Bridge, it was before, you were obviously doing all this solo music and all this stuff with Alter Bridge. Did you have any idea that that band would really kind of launch you into the world and make you the superstar that you are now?
Well, I don't know if I'm a superstar, but I'm a fortunate working recording artist, so I can't complain. But it's definitely, it's funny. I thought we'd do a record together and that would probably be it. I had no idea that 20 plus years later, we'd still be in the game. So I'm pleasantly surprised.
Wow. And I love the new record. I've heard the whole thing. Definitely a great straight ahead rock sound. So, I really like Hang by the Thread for a more kind of ballady tune. Can you kind of take me inside that one?
Sure. Well, the interesting thing about that song is originally I stumbled across the first part of it when I was writing my last solo record. And as I was kind of earmarking ideas, I was like, I think that that's going to sit nicely with Alter Bridge. So saved it, and fortunately, everybody liked it, and we all got in the same room together. It didn't have the chorus yet, which was important. It had a different chorus. I wasn't really fond of the original, so we changed that. And it's as far as what the song is about, it's kind of written from the perspective of someone who's been in an abusive relationship and just the realization that they need to move forward with their life. And it's a very hopefully be an empowering anthem for anybody who's been through that.
Yeah, I think that's something I really love about your tracks. You have this fun, hard rock sound, but then also sometimes you cover more deeper issues.
Yeah, life is full of different dynamics, and I think with the kind of music that we make, sometimes I feel it lends itself to taking the narrative to somewhere with some depth and hopefully some meaning that will translate in somebody else's life, and I think that's real important.
Another track I love is Love, Trust in Me. So can you kind of give me the backstory on that?
Yeah, that one it's kind of a conversation. That was a song where I sing the verses and then Mark sings the choruses, and it's kind of the same sort of thing we did on a song called Watch, or I'm sorry, what it was. Words Darker Than the Wings was like like almost a conversation, like a not so much call and response, but a dialogue. And yeah, so that one's fun. I like the songs where I get to take a break and let Mark sing, because I think Mark's got a wonderful voice, and also it'll be a point in the set where I can let my voice have a rest.
That's so great. Yeah, I love that Mark is singing too, and that you guys do it together. So you have very different voices, so it also makes it work.
Yeah, I think if we both sang the same, it would be, redundant, but it's good. We have about as different voices as you can get, which is good.
Yeah. Now, all the members of Alter Bridge, you guys are busy with other projects. So what made this the right time to release the new record?
Well, we've got that 3-year cycle that we have to stay on. We've managed to keep it going for 15 years, where it's like, make a record, 3 years later we put out another one. So yeah, that's I think what the fans have just kind of come to expect, and we'll see if that continues moving forward. Who knows, but 15 years in, I think it's 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, as far as staying on that particular trajectory.
Wow. But it's been longer than 15, right? For the band?
Oh yeah, we're like 20, 22, but I think maybe it's been that way the whole time. I should go back to the first two and see how long those were spaced out.
Well, hey, it works. So
yeah.
You guys have a huge tour with Iron Maiden on the way. That is so exciting. What are you most excited about for that?
Man, I mean, for me, just sitting side stage and watching them, I'm excited to play, but hopefully it means we get some of the best seats in the house, and we'll get to, unless they kick us off the stage. I got to watch them a handful of times, on tour, like we do festivals together back in the day. And, it was always just a master class in how to put on a great rock show. And they're incredible.
Do you have a favorite Iron Maiden track?
I do. I like the live version off of Live After Death of Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That's probably mine.
Up the irons.
That's right. Up the irons.
So what is new with Slash? I know sometimes you have to be kind of secretive about it, but what can you tell us?
Yeah. So the record is, all the tracks are recorded. I've finished my vocals back in, August of this year of 2025. And, yeah, now we just need to get it mixed, and then the goal is to get it released soon. We've got this Alter Bridge tour cycle and album cycle, and then we'll see after that how quickly we can put out some new music with Slash and the Conspirators.
Yeah, because they have Guns N' Roses too now, so you guys are all juggling all the different bands.
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's a lot of music. I like those new tracks I've heard from Guns N' Roses. So it's exciting, just a lot of music.
Cool. Can you tell us anything about the sound of the new Slash tracks?
Oh, it's definitely, the thing about that band is it's a certain approach that we keep consistent throughout. We don't try. I don't think you're ever going to get a record of synth pop, but but it's because the fans expect a certain thing, and we do it. It's what we do, and so we try not to veer too far from that. But we'll let people judge for themselves when it comes out.
So there's of course the Creed reunion happening too. Are you enjoying that? It's so crazy.
Yeah, for me, it just means, when they've got that, when they have that in the schedule, it means more time for me to, do other things, which is good. I think that there was a period there where I'd always feel guilty if I had, another thing going on, and say Mark didn't have a Tremonti tour or something, that I was like kind of holding people up. But this is good because now everybody's got enough, irons in the fire to keep everyone busy when people, tackle their various projects. So it's worked out really well for all of us.
Definitely. I was wondering, would you and Scott ever do a song together, kind of like Temple of the Dog and Hunger Strike?
I don't think so. But that certainly was one of my favorite. That moment in the history of that whole movement was a great. I remember I had friends that had that Temple the Dog record, and just being really, I love that record. Just that whole record is just,
Me too.
It's so good, right? And to me, it showed like a versatility in Chris that I wasn't aware of, like as a writer, because I knew him from sound, because being in Spokane, and we all, were massive Soundgarden fans. And then when that record came, I was like, oh man, he can also do that, So yeah, that's an awesome album.
We're getting low on time because of my power issues. So for the end here, I'm just wondering, what is next for you with solo stuff, Alter Bridge, like anything on the horizon?
We've got the Alter Bridge record dropping January 9th, the self-titled record, 8th record. And then we have a tour starting in Europe on, I believe, the 15th. It goes for about 2 months. And then we'll be in the States later in the spring, and then we'll see where it takes us from there. Busy.
Awesome. No solo music yet?
No, the solo just wrapped up just did the last tour for this album cycle. So just did 6 weeks with Mammoth. So that was fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Myles. As always, it's always such a pleasure to talk with you. And I love the new record. It is amazing.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Thanks for your time, Ann.
I told you, he is so nice, just the nicest, best guy, and very humble. I mean, when I said he's one of the biggest superstars, he's like, no, I'm not, but he totally is. There is no getting around it. Just an amazing person. And big thanks to Myles for being on the show. You're welcome back anytime. Don't forget to check out the new Alter Bridge record, self-titled, which is out in January 9th. It is amazing. I've heard the whole thing from front to back. Just a killer set. You will not be disappointed. So check that out, and check out Myles with Slash and his solo stuff as well. Check me out online. Head to itsmeann.com. That's itsmeanne.com. itsmeann.com. Check me out online. Join my private Patreon at patreon.com/AnnAutumn, and check out my music at uponwings.com. I've got my metal music with my band and my solo stuff. So thanks as always. You rock. I hope that you have the best new year ever, because you deserve it. Until next time, be safe, God bless, and we'll rock soon. It's Ann Erickson on Audio Inc. Radio.
It's Audio Inc. with Ann.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Audio Inc. Radio podcast. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. Get inked online at audioinkradio.com. I'm Ann Erickson for the Audio Inc. Radio podcast.